Hey guys, good evening, welcome. It is 17:47 on the 30th of August, in the UK, that is. So that's 5:47 British summer time, 6:47 European time, and that's about as far as my brain will go. The noises you may hear, which you won't actually, because I'm sure there's muted desktop sounds. I wanted to cover this very, very quickly, okay? You remember a while ago, we were all saying that basically what's going on, why, what's the roadmap for World of Warships, where's it going, particularly for ourselves, what's going on with operations. Well, in the last hour, we've finally got an answer. So, Sub Octavian himself has been posting to the North American forum, following on from the severe backlash and comments that have been being put into there following the video that they did there. So, a couple of things were brought up a couple of things have been brought up that I want to touch on and focus on. First and foremost, obviously, is this comment here regarding the West Virginia 44. And obviously, as you're aware, we've got the West Virginia 41 in game pre-refit, and there's been a big call saying, where is the West Virginia 44? Why can't we have that in game as well? It's the more historical ship. It's the more prominent version of the ship that people are aware of. So as we can see here, release in 2023 for West Virginia 44. Now, on one hand, it's nice to see that we've got something here that says, I personally apologize for taking so long. The thing is, okay, the next two bits of this is we've added a ship to the roadmap officially. What you're going to see here as we go through these comments is basically a little bit of an opening up to the World of Warships roadmap. Now, for some time, a lot of us have been saying, just share the roadmap. What's going on in the game? Where's your thoughts? Where are you going with it? How does it fit in? What do tell us a bit more. Just open the door just a little bit. And finally, I think we're starting to see that just a little bit. But the big thing for me is look at the positive responses as well from the community when you open the door. And it beggars belief. Why haven't they done it sooner? So, West Virginia 44, 2023. What they could have said there instead of all this fluff and, I'm personally very sorry and it got backlogged in this slot. All you got to type is a very simple sentence. Really sorry, we forgot. There you go. That's all. If it was backlogged, like you said, fine, we forgot, it got backlogged and it got put back due to other projects. Yeah, to some degree, a few people go, what's more important than the West Virginia 44? And so other people be like, oh, okay, fine, we can accept that. Next. Then we've got his comments regarding the Peggy 7 rating. Now, obviously, I've been one, and I'm not on my own. There are a lot of us been very vocal saying the game needs to be re-rated. And pretty much, barring all the fluff about, oh, well, we've only got so many people under 16 and the percentage is so low and it really doesn't make any difference to us and all that, the last paragraph is the one that I think is really important. And that's that, they're looking to, they've already added a new disclaimer regarding in-game purchases, including random items. That's one of the additions that's on the Peggy website. So if you've just added it, then obviously they're behind on displaying that on the website. Fine, okay, we can accept that. They're also being proactive with the ESRB rating. Fine, okay. That's really positive. That's good to hear. Well done. And they're also going to be in the near future will reapply for reevaluation. Is that off the back of everybody sending mails to Peggy and Peggy contacting them? Is this something they do themselves? We don't know. But the fact that it says in the future we ourselves will reapply, I think that might be too late, Sub. Sorry, mate. I think you're way behind the time frames on this, because if any of the number of people who've said they've done it have actually done it, there's a significant number of people sent emails and messages in and gone, look, both. So I don't think that'll be in the hand. I don't think that'll be in your hands to actually get that reevaluated. I think that'll be done by Peggy themselves. So that's that. But it's good though that we're doing. It's good to see that they're starting to take those feedback and those comments on board, and that stuff's coming out of it. The next stuff I found particularly interesting. Okay, so this is going on about the X factor of marketing and all this kind of stuff, and financial planning and sales, gameplay, and all that kind of stuff. Let's be fair. The game's got to earn money because they've got to pay bills. Fine, not a problem. We can all accept that. How you do that, though, that's what a lot of people get a lot of upset and angst with. You either do it the right way or you do it the way that you're currently doing it, which to a lot of us is a gut feeling of it's the wrong way. The end. Then he talks about how popularity does have something to do with balancing. So obviously the World of Warships spreadsheet that I put together, we can see which ships are popular because more people are playing them. There you go. There's your popularity matrix. So then we're saying that he's responding to a comment here that basically nobody asked for submarines, but many people asked for the return of old operations. Yeah, scenarios, etc. So he's saying that a lot of people did ask for submarines, and then when he joined the game 7 years ago, bearing in mind the game's been live for 6 since 2015. That this was something when my first drill was questions about submarines. Of course, it does not mean it's the only thing we need to do. We learned a lot from CV rework. Sub-process is much slower, more incremental and careful. That's positive. Okay. But soon, 10.8 is the convoy game mode. Yeah, we know about that. Inspired by historical events. Well, let's be brutally honest, it's not. You know, it might have been inspired by the North Sea, by the Atlantic and the Arctic convoys and all that kind of stuff. But let's be brutally honest, the mode that's coming into the game doesn't even bear a resemblance to what was actually involved there. The ship classes and the nations and everything to do that do actually exist in the game, but it's not being implemented in that way. So your tangible link of it is an historical event. Sorry, no. It's about as thin as a hair on my beard. What you really need to say is that we've taken a lead from the Arctic and from the Atlantic convoys and come up with this game mode. That there is doing. I mean, inspired by historical events. I suppose you could say I'm nitpicking and things like that. I'm a little bit of a stickler when it comes to stuff like that. If it doesn't say it very clearly, I get a bit annoyed. New maps. Well, people have been asking that for days. That's fine. We do plan to return old ops. We've been working on our AI, working and reworking. It should be over soon. Hopefully, old operations will return somewhere in 2022. Hold up. Operations were taken out for the CV rework because your AI couldn't handle flying the planes. Then you brought back Narai. Okay, doesn't have planes flying in it. We've just made the CV a dud item that sails out. Okay, fine. That's okay. It's not a problem. There's other things in there to shrink. There's the Missouri, etc. Then you brought back Raptor Rescue. With, it should be added, working airplanes. Raptor Rescue's been in for almost a year now. So, you've been reworking it? Raptor Rescue hasn't been reworked at all. Raptor Rescue is pretty much as it was the day it was taken out to the day it was put in. You don't feel the difference. You don't see the difference. The Raptor still defends itself with its planes. The Tahors still attack. Sorry, I'm going to call rubbish on that. You don't need to rework the AI at all. If you wanted to implement, for example, Ultimate Frontier, you could implement Ultimate Frontier because it's the same basis as Raptor Rescue to a degree. If you wanted to implement Operation Dino, you could do that because it's basically the same premise as Raptor Rescue. If you wanted to implement Hermes, you could do because it's the same premise as Raptor Rescue. So you've already proven you can do it. There's no need for this AI reworking and reworking. It should be over soon. No, what's the real reason that you've not put them back in? Because that's fluff. I'm sorry, Sub Octavian, that's fluff. You know, the fact that you've brought in 2 operations, one of which is specifically about counter CV play, and having to protect against a double CV attack and going and attacking CVs while the planes are up in the air and they are dropping torpedoes and they are coming into an attack. No, I'm sorry. That doesn't ring true with what's in your game and what you've written here. These two don't match. There's a big void in the middle. What's the real reason? Because I'm going to be brutally honest here, okay? It's great to hear that they're coming back because a lot of you know that this is a big thing for me. I love playing operations. So do a lot of the guys in Bobs. A lot of the guys in the Bobs now play the game so very infrequently just because we can't just chill out and play all the different kind of operations and do all the stupid daft things. And you know, can it do the south? Can it go south on the Rye on its own for any new tier 7s? Spoiler: there's a couple of new ones coming up that can't. But the fact that you're saying that you're having to rework the AI when your AI is in Raptor Rescue and it's working perfectly well, no, something doesn't add up. I'll believe it when I see it when they come in. I really will. I'll believe it when I see it when it comes in. I don't believe it's going to come in. I'd love to think it was. I really would. I really, really would love to believe that it's going to come in. But yeah, I don't get it. That kind of throws the big pan for me. Anyway, that's just a quick look into some stuff that's coming out. And one final thing I will say on this is, you know what? I really hope they actually see the positive responses they're getting and the engagement that this is driving just by opening up and saying, right, here's our roadmap and here's some of the items on it. I've said from day one that they need to put a roadmap out there. It doesn't matter that they don't give us the ins and outs and the ins and outs and all the warts and all roadmap. Just as long as we've got, boom, 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 boom. We know it's only as good as the next 6 months. Montgomery said it best. No plan survives contact. After that, you're winging it all the way. You know what? We as a player base don't mind that. We as a player base are so used to that kind of stuff that we're fine with that. So just post the bloody roadmap. Even if it's 25% of what's actually on the roadmap, post it. Put it out there. Look at the positive response that you've got just by doing this. The positive chatter from people who are disenfranchised with you, who are switched off with you. Not hard, is it? Anyway, that's enough common sense from TC today. Thank you, everybody. Some of you may have heard the announcement that I made on Saturday morning. There is going to be another video at some point this week, so keep your eyes and ears open for that announcement. And I've got another couple of things coming up as well that I want to tell you all about. I also want to just let you all know as well that I am taking part in Intel's Gamer Days with the Snook Gaming Twitter. I'll try to remember to put a link to that below. Basically, we get to share the fun and create the fun side of gaming, not all this nasty politics, but just the fun of click and play and immersing ourselves in a world of pixels and code and just stuff that we all love and find enjoyable, to take away the stresses and strains of real life. The last couple of years have been rough for everybody, myself included, as a lot of you know. My heart's on my sleeve. I'll tell you when things are good. I'll tell you when things are bad. This bank holiday weekend we had a big scare of my grandma. She was taken very, very ill and got rushed to hospital. She's still in there at the time of speaking as well, but she is in a much better position, much more stable and better position. And she's just waiting for some further assessments to find out where we go from here forward. So thank you to everybody who reached out about that when I had to end Saturday's stream early. I appreciate it massively. It does help a lot. But yeah, there you go, guys. Proof to wargaming. Open comms to wargaming, something that they might not be fully aware of. Let us in. Show us what's going on. Share it. Because you know what? It'll work in your favour. An engaged community is a happy community. Is an on-board community. Open and honest. It's the way I do things, and I think I'm doing pretty good. I think I'm doing the right thing. Anyway, thanks everybody. See you all soon. Ta-da.